Okay, we're gonna heat treat some stainless steel. I finally got my hands on some dry ice, so I'm just gonna do a bunch at once. I'm gonna do it in a propane forge with Parks 50, and then outside I have some dry ice in my container and some kerosene. I'm gonna let this get up to 1550 degrees. Then we're gonna equalize all these. I'm gonna quench them all, and then I'll get the forge up to 1975 degrees, and then I will put each one of these blades in there, depending on their thickness, from 5 to 10 minutes, and then quench them again. Let them cool off. Dry ice time. Cryo treat. This steel, to get maximum performance, you only got to get it close to about you got to get below negative 60. Dry ice, I think, with kerosene gets to about negative 90. If this is months and you're running this thing a lot, I'm going to be hovering around 2,000 degrees for about 30 minutes in this forge. It's good to get a pan of warm water, and that'll keep your tank from freezing up. Also, with stainless steel, you know, you're going to want to put it in something after you quench it. You know, make sure it's straight. It'd be better if you had aluminum plates, an aluminum plate quench, but I don't have that. This is what I got, and I'm going to make it work. Okay, first blade going in. There. All right. All right, nice and smoky. Now I'll put it in the vise just to make sure it's straight. Okay, I got this in a tube right now. That'll keep the scale off it halfway decent. You know, and I got the thermocouple sitting right next to it. So I know that they're that temperature right now. That's my setup. Knives. There's no scale. Is you know, it's stainless, so it's going to want to scale up on you. Before I put them in there, just paint some of this no scale on there. Get it from Pop's Knife Supply. And especially, you know, if you're going to do a 10-minute soak. Alright, we're gonna let this thing start climbing now. We're gonna climb all the way up slowly. We're gonna climb up to 1975 degrees. And the reason I'm saying slowly is because I don't want it going up too fast, because then I can't slow it down and it'll go above 2,000 degrees. But as of right now, you want to touch up your blades with some anti-scale for the one last time. There's gonna be some high temperatures here, and that's it's tough to regulate. It's tough to control all this in a propane forge. And that one's in the straightener. These are drying. I'm gonna let that bad boy get up to temperature. It's moving up already. I'm not gonna get in a hurry here. That water in that tank is a miracle. You can tell before I put this stuff on originally, I acetoned everything, and then I washed it off in the kitchen sink just to make sure this stuff sticks. Otherwise, this stuff don't stick. But yeah, just make sure it's all touched up. No scale. Okay, now I'm juggling it within probably 10 to 15 degrees. Right now we're at 1,969. I'm just going to show this one night. I'm just going to do the one night because this has taken all of my heat treating skills with a propane forge to pull this off. It's not easy to juggle these high temperatures with a propane forge within 10 degrees. But as you see, it's staying pretty much put. I think I'm going to call that good enough. It's pretty intense to try to heat treat knives at this temperature. But it can be done. As you see, the temperature of that forge is not going up much. It's kind of maintaining. As long as you stay on top of it. Okay. Next one, kind of juggling it. Looks like it's starting to go up again. Alright. Once you start to see it go up, that's when you gotta react to the air. If you let it go too much, you'll get carried away on you. Alright. So the air is turned down. I got the thing removed. It should slow down now. It's at 1,972. Doing this in a propane forge takes ninja skills. All right, here we go. That oil is starting to get hot. You don't want to catch your oil on fire, that's for sure. Especially right next to the forge like this. Okay. On to the third night, and my oil is starting to get a little warm. So I sat it on the cement. I took it off the frying pan. This knife has been in here about 10 minutes. It's just a nice slow climb, and as it's doing that, if you kill the air right away, you kill the air, maybe even turn the gas down just a little bit. Alright, last thing I want to do is last thing I want to do is set my oil on fire. Right now, we're almost there. It's kind of bouncing. It's been about 10 minutes. I'm going to go for the quench, but I have quenched non-stop in this oil. Parks 50 is a bad mama jama, man. I mean, it's something else. As soon as I put it on back on the cement, I can feel the temperature going down, and I'm just one quench after another. Every 10 minutes, a knife almost 2,000 degrees is going in this oil. So, this bad boy here is ready now. I mean, it's just something else. This oil is awesome. Turn that down. Okay, I was hoping to get the whole thing here. This is the last one. Been there 10 minutes. Everything is at least 1/8 of an inch and above. Even the kitchen knives, they're a little on the thick side. I'm going to do some grinding on them. I want a real thin edge on those two kitchen knives. Last knife. Yeah. Cool. Wow. Woof. Okay. So these are the ones we already did. Look. perfectly flat, every one of them. Stainless steel AEB-L in a propane forge. This is out of the oil. No cryo yet. It's already out of the oil hard. This stuff is amazing stuff. If you're starting off with stainless, this is the stuff to start with. I mean, we're above the 60s right now. No cryo, and we're gonna cryo. So yeah, I like it. Perfectly straight, perfectly flat, no warps, nothing. That clamp here is the trick though, and while it's still in there, you can really see if it's got a warp in it or not. But okay, next is cryo treating after these cool down. Oh yeah, one more thing. There ain't much scale on these knives. You don't see anything deep. Oh, that was my foot. But you can still see my stamp on here even. I mean, if there was you know, some deep scale, you wouldn't see that. Okay, on to the cryo treating. The crazy, stressful part is over with now, so now we can relax, celebrate our victories. Oh yeah. All right. I got some dry ice here. I just take a bucket and put it inside the bucket. I got insulation on the bottom. I got it insulated all the way around. That does help. It helps a lot. I'm going to hold this stuff in as much as you can. So what we're going to do now is just bust it up into a powder. Take your time on this part. Get it? You want this thing to be like a slurry. I got 10 pounds here. That's overkill. 5 pounds would probably work, but dry ice is pretty cheap. It's just hard to get right now. I think one of the vaccines require dry ice or something. It's got to be kept at low temperatures. And I've been calling Jewel, and where I usually get this, and they've been out for a long time. You know. Okay. Dry ice in there. You know, some people use acetone and all that, and I've done that, and acetone it works. It gets colder, I guess, but I poured it back in the container after the dry ice evaporated one time, and I put it back inside the metal container. Well, I went and watched a movie. I came back out in the garage, and the acetone container swelled up like the size of a basketball. I mean, it's like, holy crap, man. You know, I was scared to open it up. It was under so much pressure, and I mean, it looked like it was getting ready to explode. So I ended up calling the fire department, and they're like, well, what's going on, you know? And I said, well, I think I accidentally made a bomb. The cop comes over, cigarette in his mouth. He's walking up to it, and I said, hey, Jack, you know, this guy's like Barney Fife, you know? I'm like, hey, man, what are you doing? If that thing blows up, shrapnel's going everywhere, and, you know, it's, you got a lot of dry ice in there now. And the vapors from the, you know, from the acetone are just so explosive. So it scared me after that. I didn't want to mess with that stuff no more. So now I mess with kerosene. Kerosene is a lot safer. And, you know, as you can see, it'll get her done. Get her done. Fill this bad boy up. All right, look at that. So Yeah, that dry ice is in there. It's in the bottom. All right. Okay. Now what we're going to do is stick these knives in there. Where's my tongs at? Gotta make sure these tongs ain't hot. That would suck. All right, this is deep enough. I'm gonna go tip up. I'm gonna try to stand these things vertical. You know what? I'm gonna go tip down. I'll go tip down. Just get it right in there. I'll lose it. Put them vertical, they'll all fit. All right. Sticking them right in there. And I'm gonna, you know, I know you only got to get this to -60. You don't have to have any soak, but I'm gonna let it soak. And you know, the reason I'm putting them vertical is because, you know, even though these knives are cooled down, I've pulled them out of the cryo before and they've warped on me. You know, after they're nice and pretty and perfectly straight and still already somewhat hard, pull them out and the daggone things warped. Okay. There's still a lot of dry ice in the bottom of that bucket. There, I bottomed out on that one. Okay, so these kitchen blades, I'm gonna have to put them there. I have to do these ones a little different. There. Okay. All right, now these things have to be able to breathe. So you can't put this lid on tight. Just kind of, there. Just barely set it on there. And, you know, as it evaporates, it'll overpower this and it'll have somewhere where it can escape. I should drill a hole in this and have like a vent. But it definitely ain't gonna do what the acetainer thing did. I'm gonna let it sit like that for a while. And then I'll temper it. Here's why the water was important. Look at the bottom of this tank. The reason this tank ran so smooth is because I had it in water, but that is just ice. Iced up. If it wasn't in the water like that, there's no way I could have held it at 1,975 degrees so accurately for so long. I would have been fighting the tank freezing up on me. So if you're going to do this, put it in water. Well, here we go. Next morning. Oh. See what we got. Now, if you wouldn't have this insulation on it right now, this dry ice would already evaporated. See that big ice chunk right there? That ice chunk is frozen kerosene. So that's how I know. Look at that. Because it hit the concrete, and it's cold out here. It's like 20 degrees out here. Because it hit the concrete, 20 degrees is so much warmer. Man, and look at that. Now that stuff's all melting. Pretty crazy shit. No one's gonna do that. But the concrete is so much warmer than this knife, even though this floor is probably 20 degrees. It's cold out here. Look, it's frozen. Put it on there and it just evaporated. That's pretty cool. I don't want kerosene leaking all over my garage floor, though. I'm going to try to catch it. You don't want to just take these things and go throw them in the sink, and you know, you got to let them warm up somewhat non-aggressively, you know. And these things are like negative probably 90 right now. So you go run them under the sink, or you go take them in the house, and these things warm up too quick, they might crack. They've been sitting overnight. Now I'm going to put them in the tempering. Okay, just a quick hardness test. These things are still so damn cold. Ooh. They are screaming hard. Oh yeah. Wouldn't want to drop this on the ground right now. Holy crap. Alright, this one came out. The blade itself is straight, but the back of that, the handle curved on me. That's what I mean. Sometimes when you get it out of cryo, you'll develop a warp. But listen at that. Man. Like a bell, man. Okay. They're hard, man. And you can get one of these at Walmart or anything, you know, that'd be that brand. But I put it right in there with the knife. Just roll it up. Roll it up together. And fold the ends. When you do it, just fold the ends. Make sure it's sealed. And that keeps the fluctuation of the toaster oven. Before I would just put the probe in with the knives, the temperature would shoot up 20 degrees up, 20 degrees down. Now I temper them at 350 degrees for 2 hours, and then I do it again for 2 more hours. So, you know, 350 is a little low, but leave them hard, grind them thin. Okay, they're all in there. Even though it's 350 degrees, it warns me if it goes above 350. The toaster oven is set on a little bit over 300. That's how inaccurate these things are. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Where the hell is the camera at? Equalize it at 1550. Hold them there for about 5 minutes. Quench them. Parks 50. And then, you know, get some type of 2 garbage can container, insulate it. I mean, that stuff, that dry ice is going to be good for a couple days, I think, out there. And then temper it at 350, 2 hours twice. There, I don't think I forgot anything, but Rockwell is screaming hard. Even if you don't cryo treat AEB-L, by the time you temper it at 350, you'll still be at 58, 59, maybe even 60 HRC. But right now, probably at 67 right now, maybe 66. And by the time I'm done tempering, 350, probably be 63. Now that's hard. Big difference between 63 and 59. So, yeah, thanks for watching the video. See ya.